Russian President Vladimir Putin not ready to end the war in Ukraine yet. That claim coming from the U.S. as another round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine begins today, Tuesday, in Istanbul, Turkey. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky earlier said no peace deal would be possible without a ceasefire and troop withdrawals. His foreign minister who is in Turkey also said Ukraine will not trade its people, land, or sovereignty. As for Russia, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov expressed doubt that any breakthroughs could be reached, but he said it was important that talks continued in person. The more than month-long invasion, the biggest of a Western nation since World War II, has seen over 3.8 million people flee abroad, left thousands dead or injured, and brought isolation to Russia's economy.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's foreign minister advises those attending the peace talks with Russia not to eat or drink anything. That's after the Wall Street Journal reported on Monday that sanctioned Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich and two Ukrainian peace negotiators suffered symptoms of suspected poisoning during a meeting last March 3rd. According to the journal, their symptoms included red eyes as well as peeling skin on their faces and hands. Ukrainian officials called the report speculation, while the Kremlin has yet to issue a statement. Abramovich had accepted a Ukrainian request to help negotiate an end to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He was among the Russian oligarchs hit by Western sanctions aimed at isolating President Vladimir Putin and his allies over the Ukraine crisis.
China maintains its sovereignty over Scarborough Shoal. That's after the Philippine Coast Guard reported that a vessel of its Chinese counterpart closely sailed by one of its ships in the disputed waters last March 2nd. The PCG asserted the move violated the 1972 international regulation for preventing collisions at sea as it constrained the maneuvering space of the Philippine vessel. But the spokesman of China's Foreign Ministry Affairs insists Scarborough Shoal, or locally known there as Huangyandao, is China's territory, and it is the Philippines that must respect China's sovereignty. Beijing has aggressively encroached and conducted military activities in the disputed waters. That's despite a 2016 ruling by the Hague-based Permanent Court of Arbitration that invalidated Beijing's expansive claims in the West Philippine Sea.
The latest incident in the West Philippine Sea comes as the Philippines and the U.S. kick off their annual Balikatan military exercises. This year's edition is considered the largest ever in its 37-year history. Observers from U.S. allies such as Australia and New Zealand and other Asian nations are also monitoring the exercises. But the U.S. military says the scale of this year's Balikatan is not a show of force.
Not at all. Balikatan 22 is a tremendous training opportunity, and it's aimed at improving our security and defensive capabilities and our readiness to respond to any crisis anywhere.
Defense and security observer Romel Banlawi, meanwhile, says the possible role of the Philippines should the U.S. take action against Russia's invasion of Ukraine could be discussed during the two-week event.
May mga ina-identify na areas ang Pilipinas para masabi na hanggang dito lang na pwede natin gawin or hanggang dito ang pwede namin i-extend to support our ally, the United States, in the military campaign against Russia in Ukraine. Evolving pa rin yan kasi nga di yan na plano last year reaction lang yan because of the current developments at ngayon ay ina-explore nila yung mga possibilities.